Getting into next, Nora-Rengo's map pick, a map that they have demonstrated their ruthlessness on in recent times. They haven't been dropping this at all, and I expect they're going to be doing some strong plays moving forward. But Athletico are looking to shake things up a little bit, banning out Hibana on Bank, my goodness.
I mean, Hibana at the very moment is would be potentially even a hindrance for them as soon as Athletico would transfer over to the attacking side, because bring it in, having only essentially a Thermite to do the main hard breaching would be a shot in the foot for them.
Definitely, but at the same time, Athletico just want to rock the boat. That's the way they're going to win this game. In my eyes, they go to a map that's not in Nora-Rengo's main pool. They go to Clubhouse first, and they manage to steal away a win there. Now, moving on to the next map, they just start to disrupt Nora-Rengo's playstyle as much as possible. Get rid of that Hibana. Make it so they can't do what they would usually do. Put them on the back foot a little bit. Maybe get ahead because of it.
Now, oddly enough, I'm quite interested in the ban of Glass by Nora, because they just had shown us before a very good performance by, I believe that was Papilia. And right now they're outright just banning him, even though he could be a very potent tool in the toolset of Nora for their push.
Yeah, but I mean, Nora-Rengo banned Glaz 50% of the time during the Pro League, so I guess they're just continuing that tradition. They decided to make an exception on Clubhouse for whatever reason. It worked out for them, but they're not going to do the same thing here on Bank. As for the plant denial itself, no Echo on the table, and the Valkyrie has also been banned out by Athletico. Walker from Nora-Rengo, a very good Valkyrie player, so specifically to counter that, looks like Athletico have been doing a very good job so far of shutting down Nora-Rengo's star player.
Indeed, but right now my main question for Athletico, they did before even the Pro League finals, they did boast their kind of playstyle of gathering as much information as possible. And at this very moment, both Echo and Valkyrie banned out, so they would need to rely on a bit of a more subtle means of gathering information, mainly from Derpa's mirror window and Maestro's Evil Eyes, as well as that pulse.
Yeah, I mean, these days it can be kind of rare that we actually see the mirror slip through the ban phase. We saw earlier today Fnatic using mirror to a very strong effect, and now Athletico going to be bringing it out on a very unusual bomb site. Not every day you get to see Staff Room and Cafeteria brought out. Staff Room and Open Area, whatever you want to go for it. I love this strategy, and it's something we've seen from a couple teams before. Rogue had a great hold of this bomb site, and I'm really excited to see Atletico's interpretation.
I like this whole setup as well, the rotation into the archives even, allowing Athletico to have an even bigger rotation point. So right now, Imorin just setting up a couple of peak points just to, you could say, even simulate and to ensure that Nora-Rengo will just pace themselves. Whereas Nora bringing in a Maverick as well for their hard breach. So this could prove to be a very peculiar round.
Yeah, Nora-Rengo, you can see they're a little bit thrown by that Hibana ban, but hopefully they can do the job that they need with Thermite and Maverick. Now, Athletico, since the Hibana's been banned, you don't have to be nearly as cautious when setting up mirrors. You don't have to worry about Hibana. You don't have to worry about bringing a Mute or a Bandit to deny Hibana pellets on mirrors because there's no Hibana. So defending your mirrors becomes a little bit more simple, and you free up a lot of defensive operators so you can afford operators like the Clash.
Right now, though, we do see Nora-Rengo going for a very thorough drone. So right now, they will need as much as possible of that information, because they should be able to catch the Clash off guard in the face of Ethan, who has been diverting his attention between the window into the open area and the entrance from the main hallway. Todd actually catching the descent of Walker. Great. Actually get some kills from below. Great
read so far from Nora-Rengo, but the first gunfight will ensue at the top of Skylight, and Todd actually wins it, taking down the first. Oh my god, a bit of a rough start, but finally Papilia goes down. Todd, though, at the risk of losing his own life, he's going to need a reset now. I was going to say, I like the way that Athletico are holding this. They know the basic pillar of this bomb site in this setup, with this mirror setup, what you do typically, you extend yourself into the archives and tellers, and Nora-Rengo know that area is the focal point of this take. They're going upstairs to try to accomplish that, and they've had pretty successful results so far.
Indeed. And taking out a Jackal fairly early through the round would also work for them very well, as the roam clearing capability is much weaker now, and definitely in favor of Athletico. Todd, yeah, getting himself reset will still be able to deal a lot of damage. He hasn't used up his C4 just yet, and Walker is posing for a very good angle.
Bomb located by
Yeah, he can open up this floor, but he can't open up the hatch itself to make a rotation for him to get downstairs into the admin offer. But toying with these angles, I don't believe anyone from Athletico is going to peek him. What?
Wow.
How is that even an angle? Derp taking down Walker. The key player for Nora-Rengo already shut down. 3 versus 4, and this bomb site choice from Athletico has Nora-Rengo on the ropes.
It definitely catching Nora-Rengo by surprises. I don't think they have been preparing for this kind of play out, as Mario might actually catch some of the defenders off guard with that peek, but now that he's revealed his position, Athletico do know exactly what's going to be happening, so they do need to be... Oh my lord, what is this play? What is that? Atletico.
There's no time left for Nora-Rengo. Oh my god, the Ash Charge takes down Todd! But this clash is going to deny any kind of entrance into the bomb site. Racial pushing from behind. If he can take down the mirror, can he secure another kill? Maestro goes down. Oh my god, Nora-Rengo!
What was that? That was some high-octane push by Nora-Rengo. That's what it was, actually. And I'm speechless.
That was incredible. The 2 players to clutch that out, one by one, stepping up to the table. That was a round that by all rights should have gone to Athletico. They had the numbers, they had the strategy, they'd got the picks onto the players such as the Jackal, such as Walker on the buck upstairs, and yet 2 players from Nora-Rengo said, look, we don't need the rest of the team, we're going to step up, we're going to win this clutch. And that was exactly what happened. Very impressive.
Indeed, impressive it was. And right now, for Athletico, they just need to get back their composure. They had a good start. Derpy went for that very ballsy peek at Walker. And what essentially it came down to is just Athletico not being ready for that aggressive play from that Maverick.
And in the broader perspective of things, what I've got to say is Athletico do look really ready for Bank.
Oh yeah.
You don't just go to a random map that you haven't been focusing in on your scrims and take a good setup on an unusual bomb site. You don't just go to open area if you haven't been scrimming Bank. So it's great to see that Athletico, they've clearly identified in the few days that they've had to prepare, knowing that their bracket includes going up against Nora-Rengo in the first match, they've decided, look, we know that Nora-Rengo are going to take us to Bank. We're not going to try and ban it. We're going to accept that. We're going to do our best to take them on that map.
Yeah, they definitely did their homework in that regard, and it definitely shows, but just not enough of the firepower capabilities to be able to outgun the just immeasurable force that is the Japanese team. But maybe, well, the map has still just started, so there's still plenty of time for Athletico to shine, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to credit them. They did a good job in that first round, despite Nora-Rengo just winning an unaccomplishable situation. I feel like that shouldn't have happened, but they made it happen. Now, in the first map on Clubhouse, Athletico took things stealing with the first round win on the board. And from there, they projected that momentum to eventually close out the game once we got to overtime. But here, on Bank, on Nora-Rengo's map pick, Nora-Rengo have taken the first round, and I think that they're going to use that momentum to keep themselves going through the rest of them.
Yeah, Nora would definitely need to keep up that momentum, and like I said before, this definitely will be a map where Nora will be definitely taking, I feel, against Athletico within this series. But if not for Bank, I'm very curious how will Consulate go out, but that is due to a later discussion. But right now, what do Athletico need to do? Because to me, it feels that it was just a communication issue.
Maybe. I mean, it's so hard to fault Athletico for playing so well for 90% of that round when it was simply just a crazy clutch from Nora that lost them out. I suppose Athletico, after being in such a strong position, they got themselves a little bit caught off guard. You know, oh, 10 seconds to go. Look, we got a clash holding this guy. Nothing can happen, right? Well, Nora-Rengo wins a 1v1 on a clash, and another Nora-Rengo player runs in and finds 2 people in unusual positions and takes them both out. Now, that's very impressive. That's not something you can account for Athletico. So maybe I think from Athletico, it's just be prepared, you know, don't take things too casually, and make sure that you're here to win it.
Yeah, it all came down essentially just to the element of surprise that Nora-Rengo had. They went for the improvised play, and it worked out just perfectly. But right now, we're going on to the downstairs defense, the CCTV, and the and the lockers. And right now, Athletico just need to hunker down. They need to play it safe, they need to keep their angles, and they need to prevent the breach of the hatches, because as soon as those hatches are gone, the rotations will be gone, and from there it's just gonna all downhill.
Yeah, and of course, this is really where the ban of the Hibana comes through for Athletico. Of course, on Bank, this downstairs bomb site, there are so very many hatches that you can pop open. I believe there's 5 hatches that lead into the basement, and typically you need both your Thermite and your Hibana if you want to open up all those hatches. Typically, you don't open all the hatches, but even just having the Thermite, you can only get 2 hatches with that. Maverick, it's a bit hit and miss to get hatches. You're going to have to be practiced a lot and have a little bit of luck to manage to get a couple of those hatches with that blowtorch.
I'd say it wouldn't be even a Maverick job to get rid of the hatches.
It's Thermite.
Get Thermite to breach open the hatches and then use Maverick's blowtorch to just create a small crouch hole and then get your planter in and then go for it. Because this will be essentially a nearly silent tool for the attackers to breach in through.
It looks like a full map clear is coming out from Nora-Rengo. A lot of good versatile utility in the hands of the Jackal and also the Buck. The Ash brought along for the sheer fragging potential that we've seen Miro can demonstrate. Now, this is what I'm really curious for. Is Racial able to open up this hatch with the Maverick Torch? I've seen it before. I just haven't seen it be very reliable.
It very much work, as Racial is just playing it a bit careful. He is opening those very intricate small holes just to not overexpose himself. But he is using a fair bit of the fuel as well. Only like all of his breaching torch fuel is gone just to open a singular hatch. That is, to me, it feels like a waste.
That's it. I mean, Hibana gets 3 hatches. If Maverick, if you can only pop 1 or 2, that's still only a minor downgrade, and you've got a decent weapon to work with as well. So I wouldn't be too disappointed with that. The fact that he can actually get those hatches, that's really the clincher for me, because I've seen a lot of players fail, including myself, fail to open up hatches.
Interestingly enough, Ethan is actually playing on the main staircase, just being very ballsy, even though he doesn't have any kind of support to him, whereas the Nora, from the side of Nora, we're just about to see a full-fledged push into the CCTV room with Papilia holding an angle from the admin office.
Now smoking out the mirrors, Nora-Rengo in a strong position to start getting this plant down. The disruption is going to prevent the defenders from doing too much work, but their C4s, the impact grenades, what's going to happen for Athletico to try and deny this push? But where's the plant coming down? Ethan above, oh no, above server hatch? This is a flank for Ethan on the clash, and Nora-Rengo just can't deal with it. Racial finds one on the Stylix, but Derper is trading it back. It's frags back and forth as Athletico are just trying to hide now. Nora-Rengo hungry for these final few kills. JJ has to be getting this plant down, and Todd, all he has to do is shoot through the wall with the pistol and secure it. He does just that.
Very well played and nice hold, and I'm quite surprised that Nora-Rengo actually allowed Athletico to just waltz in through to have Ethan on that flank, especially on Clash. Yeah, a late flank on Clash, that is something unheard of in the Pro League, at least to me.
Yeah, it really makes you wonder where he came from. I mean, did he go up
he went up the main stairs
and just all the way around.
All the way around towards the east skylight, and then got the kill from there.
A 1-speed operator makes a lot of noise, especially Clash as a shield, so not something that you'd expect that Ethan would be able to pull off without alerting Nora-Rengo, but I feel like you've got to say, Nora-Rengo, where were the drones? Where was a pre-placed drone in kitchen?
They had the drones all around the objective. They just needed as many drones, as many info to just rush in there. That's what Nora was going for. But essentially, Ethan's flank was all that was needed for Athletico to just prevent that push.
That said, Nora-Rengo still, they have such a strong ability to just close out impossible scenarios. We saw on the first round, they won what I would call an impossible 2 versus 4. And yet, on that next round there, despite Athletico having a great flank, Nora-Rengo still got really close to winning.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was still very much close, but I do feel that right now Athletico are in a very good composure as well, because they're managing to just keep their firefights to themselves. They're picking very eloquently all the shots, and they are able to have very good trigger discipline. Like, we saw Todd just pick the firefights. He knows that there's a major push coming out from Nora. He just waits for them to waltz in onto the objective and then goes for the peak. So this is exactly what right now Athletico needs. This is the top-notch Athletico that we see.
I said before that Nora-Rengo have Bank in hand, but Athletico, they've come prepared, and they're doing very well now as they defend the top floor bomb site. These east walls from the CEO office into the skylight are going to be a serious point of contention, and in order to deny Nora-Rengo from opening up that, Athletico have brought so very many impact grenades. We saw some on Derp, which we used to open up rotate holes, but still we might have at least 4 more in the hands of Todd and Emo combined to deny the thermite charges by what we call impact tricking.
Yeah. Now, the issue for Ethan, at the very least, will be the sheer fact that he currently has his back turned over to that Jackal, so it could be very much futile for him if he does continue to ignore that. The drones are coming out through the stock, and Muryu will be potentially the first person to start pushing in. The pings still keep coming, and Waka will be also applying some pressure from the north windows.
We've seen Waka be a really potent force on these north side windows, now cooking a grenade. He's going to try to find one of the Athletico players. Nothing net just yet. This Lion Charge is going to cement all of the Athletico players in place. Is this grenade going to do the damage? In fact, it does not find anything, and the castle barricades still intact. So a lot of utility wasted for Waka.
Meanwhile, JJ will be actually breaching both of the walls into the CEO, which could be quite a crucial point for Nora's push. And if JJ is able to find even a singular kill, that will be a great addition for, well, a great advantage for Nora-Rengo.
Drones coming out into the bomb site. Nora-Rengo need to know what's available. Where can they push in? Now Waka on these north windows, he's aware that players are trying to flank him. He's ready to try and find these. He spots that one. What a shot onto Emo-Rin. Oh my god. And the push is coming straight on headlong into bomb site.
Yeah, Rachel, meanwhile, picks up another kill onto Todd. 5v3 situation, make it 4v3 as Silex picks up a kill onto Muryu. The swap over onto Maestro will be a very good one. And Derpe holding an angle from the conference room. So right now, Athletico do need to just take it a bit slow, but keep up the frags going, because right now Nora is at the man advantage and the plan has been going down. So they need Ethan to come back and be that shield. They need to have him to draw all that attention while the diffuse is going down, because they won't be able to outfrag outright the Japanese team. And this is where they need to do all the read in.
And there's just no time at the moment. These Athletico players aren't even attempting this retake. Silex falls quite literally, and Derpe finds 1 kill, but it's just not going to be enough. Ethan on this retake, but there's just too many players and not enough time. Forcing a reload. He doesn't even get out there before the timer runs out. Nora-Rengo, a very strong attack, and look at that, Rachel sharing the love with Waka. What are you doing, Waka?
Yeah. With that in mind, though, Nora do take the point advantage for themselves against Athletico, but so far Athletico managed to show some prowess against the Japanese team, and this is definitely a much stronger foe than what we saw them when they versed Airwolf.
Interesting. I have some questions for Athletico after that game, after that round. So the strategy for Nora-Rengo was something we'd seen them demonstrate at the APAC LAN. They took that in a very similar way. Now, one of the key things is Athletico banning out the Hibana means you're forced to use your Thermite. Thermite is very susceptible to the impact trick, where you open up the top of those CEO walls, throw impacts over, it explodes, and that destroys any thermite charge actively placed on that wall. We saw so many impacts being brought by Athletico, and yet we didn't see a single attempted impact trick. It was very easy for JJ to open all the walls. Instead, all of Athletico were in lobby trying to kill Waka, who was repelling on the windows.
The issue was, that Waka would be applying way too much pressure, because if they would have gotten comfortable over by their desk and trying to deny those breaching charges, they would have been shot by that buck. So they needed to out that buck as soon as possible. That's why Ethan should have came in handy, but unfortunately he didn't do as much impact within that round as he was, I guess, supposed to. But with that in mind, though, Emo-Rin surprisingly still in the donut 3 rounds in.
Yeah, didn't manage to find anything in the past few, but now we return to staff room open area. Athletico seem to be committing. This isn't just a nice little one off the cuff, nice little, I guess you could say, pocket strat. This is something that they've tried and tested, and they said, all right, look, we did lose out that last one. Maybe we threw it a little bit. We had the advantage and we let it slip. But we're going to stick with it. We're going to make it work this time.
Maybe this will be the case. I'm very much curious how will this play out, because Nora did not bring something like a sledge. They have Muryu to counter those castle charges, which could be a very potent decision. But at the very same time, the castle still has those 3 armor panels, so one of the points will be completely locked out.
I'll be interested to see how Nora-Rengo managed to take out control of Archives in this round, and what Athletico do to prevent Nora-Rengo from doing what they did last time. So last time, Athletico roaming inside of Archives, hard holding, preventing a push. Nora-Rengo takes down top floor and flushes them out with vertical pressure, despite Papilio, who played here on the Skylight side, getting taken out very early.
Yeah. Just like that, Papilio actually going in for some more roam clear, forcing Athletico to just play it safe on a very vertical plays. But Todd might just be able to score that C4 kill.
He's going to go for it, I think. Walker in some trouble here. Oh no, it's the Prisma! Pranked! Just there, the Buck. Gonna have to take a little bit extra time there, wait for that that ping to just stop.
Look at all those
dangerous
footprints. Alibi will be full-on spotted by Nora-Rengo, and right now Imorin might not be in a very comfortable position as he might get pressured from 2 sides, and the Muryu is actually posing just for that exact moment.
An interesting encirclement of the bomb site once again from Nora-Rengo. Something that they're really good at is sending individual players to do a job. And that seems to be working for them. It means they can pressure so many different sides of the bomb site at once. And now that the hatches outlets into the bomb site have been opened for Nora, they're going to start this push, no doubt, before too long. Muryu going to open up yet another avenue into the bomb site, no doubt, very shortly, with his Ash charge, opening up that castle barricade. Papilio on this flank watch, he gets the better of Todd this time.
Yeah, outing Todd will be a very good right now choice for Nora-Rengo, as that is the vertical play out and done. Silix though picks up a kill onto Walker, taking out the Buck. That was quite deadly before. Muryu, meanwhile, picks up and already rushes in. The plan will be going down in the open area. They need to do something. Racial picks up a kill into Silix, and so far, it is not looking too well for Athletico. The swap out is not working out for Ethan. He will be going down. Turpy is the last man standing, 1v3 situation. He needs to go do it, or not at all, because right now, time is ticking, and the line charge is coming out as well. He has been exposed. He has his position revealed, and he needs to move as fast as possible.
Not looking good for Derp, just the UMP to do this job. Had to wait out that lion charge, so now there's less than half of the bomb timer left to go. Not much that he can do, and just great crossfires set up. Papilio cleans up the round for Nora-Rengo, and they are looking to return to their form here on Bank.
Walker leaving his teammate just hanging on the fist bump. That was something that you wouldn't want to do as the big man of the team, the star player. But nonetheless, Nora actually managing to just work out how do Athletico work on Bank and managing to get those crossfires. That is essentially what is getting the Athletico. Athletico aren't able to counter the initial setup of the crossfires and allowing Nora to just go freely with that.
It's amazing the way that Nora-Rengo have such a strong push on that bomb site. It's not like, oh, that bomb site's just not very good and Nora-Rengo were just doing really simple stuff and overcoming Atletico's hold. No, in fact, what happened is Athletico have a really nice hold set up. They've got lots of bases covered, but Nora-Rengo pick it apart meticulously, piece by piece. They dedicate players solo to specific areas, and it's crazy to think that Nora-Rengo can just do that on the fly.
Yeah. But with that in mind, we will be seeing actually Imorin bringing in a cap can. That is massive props to the person. And
we've seen a bit of cap can today, haven't we, from Fnatic?
Oh yeah, we did see as well. Yeah, cap can coming out from Fnatic as well. As personally, I feel he's a very well-made operator, and he still has a very good capability of just pulling over, just pausing that push and dealing quite a whole lot of damage as well.
Oh, we see more I feel like it's almost more common that in Pro League play you would see a cap can trap get detonated than in like a silver level or a lower level ranked play. Because at this level, people are not expecting the cap can. It becomes so rare. In a meta, in a ranked meta, for example, where a cap can is more predictable, you're more likely to look for it. In Pro League, you think, who runs cap can? Well, Imorin does, and Nora-Rengo potentially going to find themselves maybe a leg short if they walk through one of those traps.
Well, so far we did see Athletico play very unexpected plays as well. We just saw Todd on Clubhouse pulling out the amazing play. Maybe this time this will be the time for Imorin to shine on the Capcan as well. But we're just about to find that out as Mario is already on his way to wreak some havoc, I feel.
Yep, well, Mario often does that, especially on the Ash. It's something that he's really just like, in previous seasons, Mario was a Hibana main. In fact, he was amazing. I loved watching. He used to play Hibana shotgun, and then, oh my god, look at that loadout.
I just wanted to point out that Todd was like looking and trying to get the angle onto one of the Nora-Rengo players who were just standing on that pillar. But Clash will be spotted out by Papilia, and what I wanted to mention is that Athletico right now need to out Murray as quickly as possible because his unpredictable and fast-paced Ash kills is the reason why Athletico are falling apart, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, a lot of good fraggers from Nora-Rengo. Mary is certainly doing his part. But now with Todd gaining all the intel, he can call out to his teammates where he thinks that Nora-Rengo are going to be pushing from. Nora-Rengo taking a very long time to make this happen, but we know that they can make it happen. Even when they do take their time, they make it work. Racial now opening up this hatch. We've seen him manage it before. Takes some time, takes a lot of gas, but he does get the job done eventually.
He will get it done eventually, but he also could be very vulnerable. And I do believe the Clash played by Ethan does know about that as well. But if they forget about it even for a split second, that could cost them a life as well. Which essentially could be very soon. Come on, you can do it. There we go. Rachel finally pops open that hatch after a little bit of a waiting time. And right now, at this point, all that Athletico need to do is just to prevent as much as possible of that push. Ethan is applying some more about mental pressure right now onto Papilia.
And he can gain a lot of intel as well. He can even detonate that Claymore without taking its full damage, using that shield to protect him. Imorin prepped with a C4 to deny this plant with only 33 seconds left on the clock. Nora-Rengo, well, the onus is on them to get this bomb down. Athletico have a lot to prevent that from happening. Nora-Rengo going to have to do their typical kind of aggressive plays. And oh no, the C4 perfectly denies that plant, but Walker's there to retry it. Papilia is the man who needs to put this pressure on, but the mirror is still available. Peeking now down the red hallway. Papilia has to be careful of this Clash, but Walker is likely to get the bomb down. Now it's a 4 versus 4, and Nora-Rengo have the advantage. Everything's turned around, and despite the mirror being available, Athletico don't have things working out for them.
Indeed, and even though with a man advantage right now, 3v3 situation, Papilia is down, but Mario will be continuing to proceed with his rage.
No.
Todd pulling out the cardiac sensor will be able to give the information at just the right time. Imorin will be picking him out. And with the plan down, yes, currently Athletico are at a little bit of a disadvantage.
No.
What is happening? Walker will be taking out Imorin as Walker is trying to prevent that play.
No.
And Defenders managing
God.
to defuse at the last moment, even with the angle opened up. What a play from Athletico. Ethan managing to cover just at the right time his IGL Todd, and that is all she wrote.
And you can see that just desperately trying to find the kill onto the player, actively destroying that diffuser. Oh my god, that was an absolute nail-biter. It really goes to show that the ability to have a shield on defense, it really works so well for specific strategies that just weren't available before. You couldn't just body block when you were diffusing before. You could do that. It was a very common tactic on attack, but just wasn't available to the defense. Ethan and the whole of Athletico using that to its fullest potential.
Indeed, and now going on to their first offense round, I'm very much interested how will it play out, because Athletico aren't known to be bringing in a Maverick for themselves, so they will be pretty much locked into just to a Thermite, and they will be very much limited on their plays.
Yeah, obviously that Hibana ban does make it very difficult. You mentioned during the ban phase that this could be Athletico shooting themselves in the foot, because when they do eventually switch on to the attacks, they are going to have to try and accomplish some attack wins without that hard breach available. But it looks like in this particular round, they're going to be heading upstairs. Now, looking at the kill distribution, we've seen some very strong performances from standout players. I got to say, it's Rachel's day today. Honestly, he is stepping up. He's a support flex player, and he's really been stepping up for Nora.
He's showing some great result for his teammates and for his team. So I do feel that he will be the main impact also, for Nora-Rengo. Whereas Athletico just keep rolling. They have Todd on Sledge, who would be the main enabler to open up some of the peak holes, some of the rotation holes into the side. So, and Ethan on Monty continuing to just draw attention right now. This could be a very potent combination, I feel.
Yeah, we know that Ethan's great on shields. He was doing some great work last round when he was playing the Clash, and now I think he certainly could do the same here on the Montaigne. He did a decent job on Clubhouse. Look, I wouldn't say... I think he was actually pretty good. I think it's fair to say outstanding, the way he was fragging on that operator. And now if he can bring that to Nora-Rengo here on Bank, that's certainly going to help Athletico catch up to Nora-Rengo here on Nora-Rengo's own map pick.
Yeah, I do feel that Nora would feel a bit oppressed even by that Montaigne. I don't think we saw a lot of shield plays from Athletico before, as Ethan been mainly boasting just fragging operators.
Yeah, we've seen Ethan play all kinds of kind of supportive flex operators. In the past, Todd did play the Blitz, but oh my god, wow. Is this an aggressive play from Athletico? Doesn't look like it's working out for them though. Unfortunately, Athletico lose 3 players. They identified a rush, but Imarin's still getting the bomb down. JJ managed to finish off Ethan. It's all up to Imarin. He's going to have to 1 versus 5, but it's not going to happen. There you go. Round cleaned up for Nora-Rengo.
That was...
I think I blinked, and I think I missed a round.
That was, yeah, that was something that I honestly did not expect. I don't think that was the best decision from Athletico to go for that very ballsy push, and it didn't work out. Nora-Rengo were very much prepped for that, and yeah, it's honestly,
yeah,
that should have went completely the other way if they would have taken it slightly slower.
So Athletico said, all right, look, we've droned in the site. We've identified that there's no one protecting this area. We're going to go full, full committal to this area. We're going to get in. We're going to get the plant down. We're going to play for closed plant. And then the line charge came out, and then Nora-Rengo went, hey, why is there a line? Oh, look, there's people filing in over here. Let's just shoot all of them. And Nora-Rengo won that engagement. They won the whole team fight. Athletico were left with 1 man standing, and he's not going to do the job.
Yeah, but you see as well, when they saw the line charge, they prepped up their angles. They already had everything set up.
Yeah,
whereas
strong setup.
If Athletico would have been on defense right now and the same thing happened, they would have been ready, because they would still be doing a couple of rotations and they would have been caught somewhat off guard, which to me sounds that Nora slightly more, well, they are way more prepped for Bank. We talked about it before. And to me, I feel that would be a great feature if Athletico managed to push it out to overtime.
I think they'd be doing pretty well for themselves. They are trailing behind a little bit here on Bank, but we've seen Athletico can be a team to remember. They certainly have made their mark on this event at PAX here just by taking 1 map away from Nora-Rengo. Nora-Rengo, they haven't dropped a map since, well, they didn't even drop a single one in the last LAN event in Tokyo. So I think they're looking pretty well, and Athletico to be able to be performing even as well as they are now, that's something to go by.
Indeed. Now, Walker will be setting up his final setups, and oddly enough, not a single wall patch within the janitor's closet will be reinforced that will be facing into the CEO office, so that will be left fully soft, which could be the big enabler right now for Athletico's push, because you open up the hole in the wall into the CEO. You open up with the thermite the 2 wall patches. You have a crossfire already pre-set up, and you're good to go for the plan. Whereas for Nora, they would need to be very careful about playing those angles, because Walker on the mirror would need to play very conservatively.
Yeah, but Nora-Rengo, they're smart guys. They know these angles all too well, and you can see they're planning on utilizing them to their fullest with this mirror, with these ACOGs brought out by the Doc and the Rook. Nora-Rengo are very confident. They certainly will not be playing passively. Walker, with some holes himself, looking into CEO from inside of Janitors. He can look into Janitors, and then he can look from inside Janitors all the way out again and deny this kind of push. Looks like Athletico are going to be trying to do a similar kind of push to how Nora-Rengo would take this bomb site, but instead of Walker on these windows, it's Todd.
Interestingly enough, Todd is actually full-on expecting a jump out from Nora-Rengo after the window got hit a couple of times, so he will be just popping it open just to prep it, and I think he might be actually using it for an angle just to peek through. And right now, if Jeppe will attempt to push through that stock room, he will be caught with a unpleasant surprise, I'd say.
Yeah, you really shouldn't be winning that gunfight if you're jumping into stockroom. The defender on the other side should see you first by judging from that angle. We've seen in the past, attackers find it very difficult to get in there. Teams like Darksided have managed to do that with a Ying, but look, that's not relevant here because Silex has run straight into the bomb site. Who's going to try and deny it?
Wow.
Walker's here. Oh no! Meryu helps out, but now the bomb's down and Athletico's hand is revealed, but they have all the resources invested into holding it now. Nora-Rengo have to try it and overcome all of these angles being held by Athletico, including
Silex.
the shield.
Wow, Silex tried to go for the pre-fire, but loses his life to Meryu. 4v2 situation, and Ethan and Derpy, the only two. Derpy
no.
on the flank watch. He will be needing to do something. The Racial taking care of Ethan, and no, Nora-Rengo will be securing the win as they're able to draw all the attention from the diffuser. And just like that, match point on Bank.
Not once have Nora-Rengo gone to the downstairs bomb site as a defense. In fact, every time it's been the downstairs bomb site, Athletico have won it. That was 2 on their defense, and they haven't won a single other round. Nora-Rengo really showing up here. The first map was very close, a 7-5 on Clubhouse to Athletico, but Nora-Rengo are replying here with force on Bank.
Yeah, and potentially this could be very much of a last round to be coming up on Bank, and we could be moving into the map 3. But with that in mind, Ath might actually try to go for that final push because knowing Nora, they might allow, you could say, to get Athletico several rounds. So if that happens, if the Nora curse comes in effect, then Athletico still have a fighting chance.
Well, I got to say, on map 1, Nora-Rengo had a match point they could have secured. They could have taken a win 6-4, but instead they lost 3 straight rounds following that. Lost every round of overtime, and the map went to Athletico. Certainly Nora-Rengo want to be securing this one out right now and heading on to Consulate to close this game out.
They would indeed, and the downstairs side will be the perfect tool for them. Racial is actually having a really nice time. 10 kills for himself, as well as Meryu on 9. His Ash kill is pretty much essential what granted him the high count, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, across the board, some strong players individually. Once again, I gotta say, Racial standing up. I mean, he's playing Smoke right now. Smoke's SMG-11 has been nerfed into the ground. It's actually getting a little bit of a buff back again. Looking forward to that. But look, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that it's impressive if someone can be top fragging while playing Smoke. So massive credit to the support player of Racial.
Indeed. Now with the Ashen Phase coming in, interestingly enough, Nora doesn't even have a mirror for their play downstairs, so they will be playing very aggressively to me, at least how I feel. JJ on that Zofia prompting to hold the Teller's office and Archives, at least for a little bit, just to stall the push, whereas Athletico just staying to their, so far, pretty much standard lineup.
It's going to be a very heavy roam for Nora-Rengo. Just take a look at those operators. Every one of them has some strong fragging potential, particularly you know, your Ella, your Vigil, even your Legion and your Alibi. These operators are going to be very effective at roaming, and when it does finally come down to the wire, Racial's here for the plant denial. So I think Athletico lacking a Jackal is going to really harm them in this roam clear.
Yeah, they wouldn't do, but meanwhile, Ethan is already on the spot. He's already there and ready to soak up some damage. The line charge will be coming out and potentially the plant as well. Oh, there's the gas grenade that will be dealing some damage to Ethan and Todd. Meanwhile, JJ will be taking out Imorin. That is not a good start right now for Athletico's offense, and potentially could be their downfall even, with Todd taking up some even more damage, I believe.
Athletico had a nice idea. They said, all right, look, we know that roaming heavy, let's just push site, but Nora-Rengo are here to punish that, and now Silex is the second man to fall for Athletico. These alibi devices are confusing the Athletico players as they fall once again. Meryu finds himself another one in the round. This is looking to be the match point that Nora-Rengo were waiting for. Derper is about to find the waiting arms of JJ, but he finds that fight anyway. 2 versus 4 for Athletico. Just Derper and Ethan. Derp, the only remaining man on attack with a rifle, and the only man who's going to be able to make this happen for Athletico. Going now for the plant. There's no one else to cover. This is just it. Where is the Nora-Rengo defense? Where is the plant denial? Racial doesn't realize this is going to go down. No way, the diffuser is planted, and now the retake is just going to have to be forced out by a Nora-Rengo. A 1 versus 3, the Lion Charge. Gonna help out with this hold for Athletico, just clinging on to this round, but no, Racial takes it down. And that's Nora-Rengo taking on map number 2. We're going to go all the way to Consulate.
Indeed, and at least to me, it's not that well, not impressive. What was the right word? Back me up on here.
I guess you could say like this isn't as impactful as we might have expected. We were expecting this, but nonetheless, Nora-Rengo have really shown up where the fans were wanting to them.
Yeah, definitely not a bad performance there from Nora-Rengo. Like you said, they show up. You guys were saying Bank was pretty comfortable, or at least should be pretty comfortable for Nora-Rengo. 6-2 there in their favor. All in all, nothing too surprising, I think, is what you were looking for there.
Yeah, that's the one. It wasn't that surprising to the fact that Nora managed to just dominate Athletico on Bank. That was pretty much envisioned.